Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Chris Guyette here with Yvonne Juno, the November 4th edition of Full Court Press Basketball Debate. On today's edition, contract extensions, thoughts on teams so far, and much, much more. So let's start with a quote from first-year Cleveland head coach David Blatt. The Cavs' title expectations, quote, are unfair. Agree or disagree with that, and why? Your take, Yvonne.
Well, it stands to reason that the expectations would be high because of the press and the hype in the media about LeBron. Fair or not fair, we knew that it was going to be that way. Why is he saying it's not fair? That
It was
would be my
obviously
first
in an
question.
interview.
Okay.
It was obviously in an interview. They asked him about the expectations, and, well, that was the quote.
Okay. No, I don't think that's unfair. I'm not necessarily saying it's going to happen, but I don't think it's unfair. And the press and the media and the fans are going to say what they're going to say. You're not going to stop that. If they wouldn't have made such a big deal out of LeBron going back with banners and murals and all that kind of stuff, maybe the fans and the media and everybody wouldn't have such high expectations. But when you take somebody like LeBron James, and let's be perfectly honest, I don't have to like him. I don't necessarily not like him, whatever. But when you take somebody, and because he is talented, and he is good. When you take somebody that's that explosive, and we've seen how explosive he can be. Let's be perfectly honest. And you take him away from home, they burn his jersey, they hate him, they never want to see him again, and then 4 years later he comes back and they paint murals and hang banners for him. Of course the expectations are going to be high. Of course they're going to be fair or not fair, justified or not justified. The expectation level is going to be high. So for him to say that it's not fair, I think is wrong because of course it's going to be high. Justified? I don't know. But of course it's going to be high because in people's minds, the fans are so excited to have him back. Of course it's going to be high.
Three things. Number one, we have to remember the source. This guy's in his first year in the NBA. Has never coached in the NBA.
Right.
Ever.
Okay.
Okay? He's got 16 championships in the EuroLeagues. I don't care about the EuroLeagues. The EuroLeagues do not even come close to measuring up to this. That's no disrespect, but it's on a whole different level. Okay?
Well, that gets proven every year
I
when
don't
they go
care.
to the FIBA thing.
I don't care what you did overseas. I don't care. This is inexperience talking. He's never dealt with this. He's never had these expectations. He's never had to deal with this superstardom. Speaking of superstardom, that leads me to my second point. Look at your team. How would the expectations not be high?
Exactly. You've got an all-star team.
What? And, okay, and I'm not going to even go as far as to say that it's not justified. Because it is justified.
That was my point.
It is. Mm-hmm. Because if you're Cleveland, you're getting LeBron back.
Mm-hmm.
You're getting Love. You got Kyrie Irving, who just got his money. Okay? Why would you not expect the title? Why would you expect anything less than a championship?
To be perfectly honest, I didn't say it the way that I meant earlier. I think what it boils down to, as far as from my perspective, your expectations with a team like that should be high. You should expect the best from a team like that. Because they are some of best
They
player.
are that good.
Right.
Can they mesh? I don't know. They did against Chicago, which we'll talk about. But in the first game at home against the Knicks,
No.
they looked terrible.
Mhm.
Maybe they gotten it together. We'll find out tonight because they play Portland tonight. We'll talk about that. That's going to be a fantastic game. Okay?
I don't know if I can talk about Portland. It's
This
painful.
This
It's
whole
painful
thing.
to watch Portland play.
This whole thing comes down to this. This guy has no idea what he's talking about, and I'm not disrespecting this guy. I am stating the facts. Okay? And look, let me be honest. I'm going to go on the record and say this. I want LeBron and the Cavs to win the title this year. I think it would be storybooked. He comes home and he rewards. You got to remember, this city has not had a championship in any major sport in 73 years. In any major sport.
Well, this would be
It'd be storybook.
like a fairy tale ending.
It would be storybook.
Mhm.
I would love it. I want that for LeBron. I want that for the city of Cleveland. But David Blatt needs to get his head together. This is what is expected of you, whether you're in your first year as a head coach or not. It is
Well,
expected that you take the
All
reins.
right, okay. And let's look at it from the perspective, you're a Cavs player, okay? Hypothetically speaking, you're a Cavs player. How would you feel if you heard the coach say something like this? Wouldn't you feel like, Mark,
He's selling us
wait,
short.
he's defeating us before we've even started.
Right.
Is this how he really feels about us? What the hell?
This comment
He's
all around
shooting
is
us
just,
in the foot
right.
before we've even started.
Right.
Is he saying that we're only mediocre and that's all he's expecting? It's kind of like a parent and a child. I can say anything I want about my own child, but don't you talk about my kid.
Right.
He's talking about his own players this way.
Mhm.
That's terrible.
Mhm.
So what's he saying? That he doesn't expect the best out of them?
I don't know. He just says that they're unfair, and I completely disagree. Next topic. The Nets owner, Mikhail Prokhorov, okay? We know that Jason...
Owner?
Mhm. We know that Jason Kidd coached the Brooklyn Nets last year, left for Milwaukee. In an interview about where Brooklyn is right now without Jason Kidd, how they've progressed, quote, "I'm not worried about Jason Kidd. We'll get even."
Shame on him.
Your thoughts, Yvonne.
Oh,
your take.
that's sour grapes. That's all that is. That's all that is. He is sorry that he doesn't have Jason anymore. He's bitter. He's angry. And that's just sour grapes. That's just jealousy and sour grapes. And that is so unprofessional. That is so uncalled for. That makes me want Jason to just do the best that he can possibly. That's painful. We'll get even. Okay? Are you a little bit bitter because Jason left?
Look. Okay,
Much?
I'm not going to get into this. Because,
Okay, how old are we?
okay, look. I could play the Stephen A. Smith card here and talk race, but I'm not going to do that. Okay? Because it's not the right time to do it. Okay?
I don't think it really has anything to do with
I
it.
do, but that's a different story.
I think
okay.
this is just jealousy and bitterness.
Who cares? Jason Kidd has moved on. He got another job offer.
Right.
Who cares? Focus on your head
Right.
coach.
Deal with it.
Focus on the fact that you right now, with Lionel Hollins at the helm, who by the way ain't nothing to sneeze at, are 2-1. Why are you so focused on the past?
He's bitter.
That's all. Next topic. The Hornets and point guard Kemba Walker agree on a 4-year, $48 million extension. Now, this happened about a week ago. Your thoughts on the extension? Is he worth it? And how important is Kemba Walker to the success of the Charlotte Hornets?
I think he's important. I think he's important. I'm not good with the numbers and the pay scale, so I don't know if he's worth $48 million. But looking at the Hornets, I hate it. I always want to say New Orleans. Yeah, he's worth it. He's worth it. I think he's worth it. I think they'd be in trouble if they didn't have him. So I think he's worth it.
He's very much worth it. I think he's worth more than $48 million because he does so much for this team. He's the leading assister. He leads the team in steals. I mean, and he's the point guard. You know, I mean, point guard, it's hard to come by a great point guard. I'm not saying
not
Kemba
everybody
Walker,
can be Chris Paul.
I'm not saying Kemba Walker is on the level of a Tony Parker or a Rondo or a CP3.
Right.
But there's echelons when it comes, especially to the point guard position in this league today. You've got the upper echelon, which is Paul, Rondo, Parker.
You don't have a good point guard. You don't
Okay.
have a team.
Okay, and then there's that second little echelon right there of guys like Kyrie Irving,
Right.
Kemba Walker,
Which is where
Darren Williams,
which is where the majority of the point guards fit.
Drew Holiday.
They fit in that middle category.
And Kemba
Okay.
Walker is at the top
Right.
of that middle category.
Right.
He's very much worth it. And he's very important, Charlotte.
Right.
In fact, he proved it later during that week when he hit the game-winning shot.
Well, the reason
for
I
Charlotte.
said that is because I don't know right off the top of my head how much people like Chris Paul and Tony Parker make. So do you?
I'd have to look back, but
Yeah.
I mean, Tony Parker just signed an extension last year, so
You remember how
it
much?
was 3 years, $49 million, if I'm correct.
3 years? 49?
But it was an extension. It wasn't a whole new contract.
Okay.
And Parker,
This is a 4-year, $48 million.
okay, but Parker is also older than Walker. Parker's in his 30s.
Yeah.
Kemba Walker's still 24, 25.
Yeah. There's room for growth.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. He's very much worth it. Good extension by Michael Jordan, by the way, who
Yeah.
runs the day-to-day operations of his team. Good job
Well,
by
if
him.
anybody knows what to look for in a good player, regardless of what position they have on the court, it's Michael Jordan. Okay?
Klay Thompson.
I don't look for him to do anything stupid that's going to be detrimental to the team.
Klay Thompson has signed a 4-year, $70 million
Oh my God.
extension with Golden State. Simply put, is he worth it? Why or why not?
$70 million.
4 years, $70 million.
And Chris Bosh got 118 for how long?
5.
Baby, if they gave Chris Bosh 118 for 5, and they gave Klay Thompson 70 for 4, yeah, I think he's worth it. We're going to disagree on this one.
Oh, we're going to disagree big time.
Yeah, I think he's worth it.
Why? I mean,
Because-
you have to have a reason for it.
Because he's a good player. Because he's a very good player.
Okay.
He is consistent.
No, he's not.
Yes, he is.
No, he's not.
He's more consistent than Curry is.
That I'll give you. But that's not saying too much now, is it?
You got to have somebody who's consistent.
What happened in the playoffs last year? When Curry was off, Thompson was off. They feed off of each other,
Absolutely.
which is a problem.
Well,
Which tells me right there that Klay Thompson is not his own player. If he has to feed off of Stephen Curry to get his shots, you're not your own player. Therefore, you're not worth $70 million.
I disagree.
Okay? Keep this in mind. Chris Bosh's 5-year, $118 million That was not an extension. That was a brand new contract. Okay? Klay Thompson still has 2 years left. So really, he's making more than $70 million because he's still owed these next 2 years plus the 4.
And what's his regular 2-year?
Oh, I don't know. It's got to be somewhere around $100 million. It's got to be. I'm sorry. Klay Thompson is not worth $100 million. Sorry. Okay. And here's where I get that from. What I just said to you. Klay Thompson. Now, he's done better with it this year. We'll talk about it a little later in the debate. Because he did have a 41-point game this season. Okay? He has very much improved his driving skill. But until he gets the ball, he's standing out on the perimeter. Standing. Waiting on Stephen Curry to feed him the ball.
I think he needs to be cut loose more.
Go get the ball.
I think he needs... All right, let me ask you a question. Okay. I follow what you're saying. Let me ask you a question. Do you think that he's not going to get the ball because he's being told to wait until he gets the ball fed to him? Is this a coaching problem?
Steve Kerr is the new head coach. I doubt, considering Klay Thompson had a 41-point game a few nights ago on Saturday night, I believe it was. I doubt Steve Kerr said, "Oh, just stand out here."
No, I'm not saying that he's saying it in that way. What I'm saying is, see how I can word this. Do you think that they're holding him back?
Obviously not. He scored 41.
Okay, good point. Good point. Is this a change of things to come? We won't know that till we see them play a few more games. I'm talking about last year. You said he was waiting around to see what Curry was going to do before he reacted. Do you think that was a coaching decision?
No.
That maybe he was being told, wait, let Curry feed it to you, and then you make your shots or make you play?
Keep in mind who their head coach was last year. Mark Jackson. You really think Mark Jackson would tell Klay Thompson something like that? I don't think so.
I think that he would tell them to work together as a team, and if it means to wait to see what
Work
Curry's
together
gonna
as
do.
a team.
Right.
Don't base your whole game around Stephen Curry. There's a difference.
But he's supposed to be the star.
And he has shown up in big games where Klay Thompson has not. Okay?
With those last-minute three-point shots, right.
41 points on Saturday night. And you want to throw consistency in there. 41 points on Saturday night. They played again Sunday night. 16 points. That's not consistent.
No, that's not consistent.
He is not worth $70
Do you think
million
he's trying to find himself under the new coaching staff?
I don't know. No. He obviously found himself with that 41-point game. This whole season is going to revolve around that 41-point game. Because now that he had the 41-point game, guess what? Now that we know you can do it,
Right.
We're
it's
gonna
going to
expect
be
it.
expected.
and if he doesn't live up to it,
Yeah. It's going to be expected.
and I'm sorry, Klay Thompson is not going to score 40 points every night. Because he's
No,
just
not a lot of
not-
people can.
He's just not that good. Sorry, he's not. He's not.
I think he's underrated, bud.
I think he's underrated
I
too.
think he's underrated. I think he's better than you're giving him credit for.
I know he's underrated. But he's not so good that he should be making a $70 million extension. If this was a brand new
They want to keep it.
if this was a brand new contract, I would understand it. The guy still has 2 years left on his current contract. And you're just gonna throw $70 million at that guy?
They don't want him to leave.
He ain't worth $70 million. That's a load. Okay? Look at the and then wait a minute. Wait a minute. So Klay Thompson's worth $70 million, but Dwayne Wade's not?
Oh, no.
Because Thompson's making more than Wade.
No, that's not right.
Okay.
No.
Okay.
No. I didn't know that.
On a yearly basis.
No. That's not
on
right.
a yearly basis.
No.
He is making more than Dwayne Wade. Dwayne Wade signed a 3-year, $32 million extension, mainly because of his age, and he is getting up there. But you break that down, that's about $10 million a year. Break this down for me. $16.5 million a year. I don't think so.
But we don't know if Dwayne's base pay was more than Thompson's before you add the extension on top.
It doesn't matter. You cannot tell me that Klay Thompson on a night-to-night basis is going to be more effective
No.
and is going to score more points
No, I agree.
and is going to do more for your team and be more consistent than Dwayne Wade.
No, I agree.
So he's not worth $70 million. I'm sorry.
No. Okay, is it that Klay Thompson's not worth $70 million extension, or is it that Dwayne Wade is not getting what he deserves?
Well, because of his age, 3 years, $32 million is a good deal. That's $10 million for the next 3 years. Because of his age, that's a good deal. Okay? I would have paid him more, but that's a good deal for a guy of 32, 33 years old.
It kills me to hear that they call them old when they get in their 30s.
Okay? Look, I'm sorry. I'm just not seeing this.
Maybe we haven't seen it yet.
This is...
I know one thing. If he didn't have pressure on him before, he's got it now.
Jesus.
How much more does Curry make?
He doesn't make more now.
Klay makes more than Curry now?
Now.
That's not going to sit well. No.
Okay. But take Stephen Curry's aspect on that. What did they base this extension around? Not one game. They based it on his yearly production.
Correct.
Who
Season.
Who was better last year? Curry or Thompson?
Curry.
So Thompson's worth that.
That's why I just
At
said.
the same time, I'm not saying that Curry is worth $70 million because I don't believe that.
Well, that's why I said this
But
is not going to
all the
sit well
more
with
reason-
Curry.
As it shouldn't. If
No.
you're basing this on a year-to-year production, it shouldn't
Performance.
sit well.
If you're looking at
Because
performance.
Curry was an echelon and a half better than Klay Thompson last year.
Yeah.
Okay?
I didn't realize he was making more than Curry.
Come
now.
on. That's... No. I'm not even paying this guy $50 million. Okay?
Well, he's got a lot to prove now. We'll see.
Lakers rookie Julius Randle breaks his leg 13 minutes into his career. The Lakers lose the opener. At the time, they were 0-2. Okay? They are now 0-4. So,
The Lakers look pitiful.
your thoughts
The Lakers look
before we get to the Lakers.
pitiful.
Your thoughts on the injury to Julius Randle?
Oh, it's terrible. That's terrible. I don't care who it is. I don't care what team it is. I don't care what sport it is. We can be talking about football, basketball, hockey, whatever. It is horrible when a player gets hurt right before the season starts or in the first 5 games. That's just like, to me, that must be devastating for any player in any sport. I mean, it sets the tone for the entire season, and it's got to affect the entire team. It has to. How bad is the break?
Oh, he's out for the season. He's out. He broke his leg.
Tibia or what?
Tibia. He broke his leg. Okay.
Did it happen on the court?
Yeah.
What happened?
Came down wrong on his leg. He came down wrong on his leg and it buckled on him. Okay, it happens. All right? But it was the circumstance. 13 minutes into your NBA career.
That's horrible.
It's horrible. Now, what's wrong?
Horrible.
What's wrong with the Lakers?
they don't know how to play basketball. It's terrible. And I feel so sorry for Kobe. I feel sorry for him. It's terrible. It looks like they don't know how to play together. It looks like they went through the neighborhood, they picked out a bunch of guys, and they said, hey, let's go shoot some hoops.
See,
I feel sorry for
see-
Kobe.
Okay. I disagree with the fact that they look like they don't know how to play together. I disagree with that. Because I've watched 3 out of the 4 Lakers games. Their offense.
Can you honestly say that they look like they've meshed together well and that they're a
Yes.
unified team?
Yes. But I have some explaining to do. Number 1. In essence, they beat the Clippers. Okay? The Clippers had to score 39 points in the 4th quarter to beat the Lakers. I'm concerned about the Clippers. We'll get to that in a second. Okay? The problem with the Lakers does not, it's one of those rare situations where it is not a team problem. It is individuals
Individual
not
players?
stepping up. Jeremy Lin.
Okay.
Where are you at?
Okay, can we go back to the first debate that we had before the season started? When I said, I hope nobody's counting on Jeremy Lin to carry the ball and be the right kind of point guard that the Lakers need.
No. I'm not saying carry the team. He is the right kind of point guard the Lakers need. They need an aggressive point guard that can score the basketball. Jeremy Lin can score the basketball.
Do you think that they would be in the trouble that they are in right now if Steve Nash was playing?
Yes.
What?
Yes.
You really think they'd be 0-4 if Nash
Yes.
was on the court?
First of
Oh,
all,
you and I are
first of
so
all-
going to disagree.
First of all, the schedule hasn't been kind to them. 4 games
no,
in
I
a
understand
week.
that.
4 games in 7 days.
Yeah,
Okay, that's on Adam Silver. Sorry, that's
Yeah.
terrible.
yeah.
Okay, 4 games in a week. That's a bit much. All right.
But you're telling me that you still think they'd be 0-4 if Steve Nash was on that court?
With the teams they have faced, yes,
Oh, I disagree.
they would have beaten Golden State.
Disagree.
They would have beaten Golden State on the road.
I disagree.
Answer my question. They would have.
Possibly.
That's crap.
Possibly.
In Golden State, Steve Nash would have stopped Stephen Curry. Steve Nash,
I think he could.
who can't defend for crap. Sorry, I love Steve Nash. He's probably the greatest passer I've ever seen in my life. He is such a liability defensively. I talk about Dirk Nowitzki being a liability. Steve Nash is even more of a liability defensively. The man averaged less than half a steal per game for his career. Half a steal! Are you kidding me? That's terrible. He would not have been able to stop Stephen Curry.
No, but he's heads above most of them offensively.
Okay, great.
And the way you win a game is to put points on the board.
But if Golden State puts more points on the board than you still lose that game. They would
True.
not have beaten Golden State on the road. The Clippers are... He wouldn't have outdueled Chris Paul. I promise you that. Okay? And Chris Paul wasn't even the problem for the Lakers. They couldn't stop Blake Griffin. They couldn't stop him. He scored 39. Blake Griffin scored 39. Because Carlos Boozer, again, doesn't know how to defend. Sorry, he doesn't.
So you're saying that the Lakers' biggest problem is defense.
Is individual defense.
Okay.
Turning in to team defense. For the record, I'd like to state that Kobe Bryant looks fantastic.
Yes, he does.
That's what we're overlooking here.
Yes, he
Kobe
does.
Bryant,
I'm not overlooking
looks
that. I just said I feel so sorry for him. Because he's
fantastic.
killing himself out there on that court.
Okay. Now,
He's probably pushing himself
Yes,
beyond the
they would
point.
still be 0-4.
He's pushing himself beyond the point that he should be coming back from such serious.
They would
surgery.
still be 0-4, even if Steve Nash was on that floor.
I don't know if I'd go that far.
They would have beaten Houston on opening night.
I don't know if I'd go that
Wait,
far.
they would have beaten Houston on opening night. With the way James Harden played in that game,
Oh no.
they would not have beaten Houston.
No.
They would not have beaten the Clippers because Steve Nash would not have outdueled Chris Paul. And they would not have beaten Golden State on the road. You're 0-3 right there. Yes, they would still have a losing record even with Steve Nash.
They're in trouble.
Yeah, they're in trouble. If they don't get it
In
together,
trouble.
if they don't get it together, yeah, they're in trouble. Yeah. Jeremy Lin, where are you, dude? Where are you? We know.
That's like asking where's Lillard.
We know he can score the ball.
Oh my
we know he is
God.
capable. What?
No, wait a minute. Wait a minute. We know that he is a better than average player.
Yeah.
Okay? But that one season, half a season he had,
That one game
okay,
he had.
I'll give it to you. That one game he had, where all of a sudden he was God. Okay? I don't even remember who it was against.
The Lakers.
There you go.
He was playing for the Knicks.
Yeah.
And Carmelo was out with an injury. That's why he went for 38, by the way. Oh, and by the way, Kobe Bryant didn't play in that game. Just saying.
Okay?
So, of course you're going to go for 38.
He will always be remembered. That's kind of like what you said about Klay Thompson. First game, 41 points. He's got that measuring stick that he's going to be measured by for the rest of the season. Well, Jeremy Lin, I mean, he even made the cover of some magazine. I don't remember what it was.
ESPN magazine.
Yeah, there you go.
I still have it.
Okay? I mean, come on. How many years ago was that?
2.
He is going to be measured by that game for the rest of his life. And I'm sorry, he is not going to be that good every game because he's not that good.
Not with Kobe Bryant on the floor.
He had a great game. That is his Hall of Fame game in his own mind, in his own right. Did he deserve it that night? Hell yeah. Is he going to do that on a regular basis? Absolutely not. He is a better than average player, but that's it. He's not great.
Next topic.
So wait, before we get off the topic of the Lakers,
We're not done with the topic of the Lakers, but
what do you see for the future of the season?
they're going to get it together. They're going to get it together. 4 games in 7 days was a bit much. They've had a 2-day break.
And such tough games.
They've had a 2-day break. They start fresh at home tonight against Phoenix.
Do you think they're going to beat Phoenix?
Yes. Yes.
You do?
Yes.
Well, I don't know.
75% of the United States would disagree with me, but I do.
Okay, I don't know if they're going to beat them, but I tell you one thing. They need a good booster shot in the butt. If they don't beat Phoenix tonight, it's going to be very detrimental to their morale.
In the opener, Dwight Howard elbowed Kobe Bryant in the face, and it caused a scuffle between the two. Your thoughts on the elbow? And was there an underlying meaning behind the elbow from Dwight Howard?
You really don't want me to talk about Dwight Howard
Yes, I
and
do.
the elbow, do you?
Yes, I do.
You think there's enough time on the iPad for me to talk about Dwight Howard?
Oh, yeah.
Sorry to the Howard fans out there. This is not
You're
a
talking to one. I am a Dwight Howard fan. Don't say sorry.
over Kobe.
That's not what I said. I said I'm a Dwight Howard fan.
I'm not.
Okay? I'm very much aware of that. I'm stating for the record that I like Dwight Howard.
I don't.
Okay? You're talking to one. Don't apologize.
I don't like him. I don't like his personality. I don't like his playing tactics. I think he's a thug on the court. Sorry. I think if he has the opportunity, he's going to throw an elbow, a fist. He's going to bang a knee. He's going to do whatever. He's a dirty player. I have always said that. I always will say that. It is not necessary to hurt someone on the court or attempt to hurt someone on the court to win a game. If he's that good a player, he should not have to resort to such tactics. Can he play? Hell yeah, he can play. So why does he need to pull this kind of stuff? Why does he need to resort to playground tactics?
That's what I'm asking you about the second question. Was there an underlying meaning behind this elbow to Kobe Bryant?
Yeah. Of course
And
there
that
was.
meaning was the message.
I'm bigger and badder and better than you. Get the hell out of my way. But that's how he feels about everybody. This has nothing to do with the fact that it was Kobe.
Oh, it has everything to do with the fact that it was Kobe.
He was out to prove a point to Kobe.
It has everything.
But we've seen him do it to more players than Kobe.
Mhm.
We've seen him do it to guys that there was no reason for him to do this.
Oh, but this
to.
one was special.
Okay?
I do not, please understand. Please understand. I do not disagree with anything you just said. Anything. Okay?
Then how can you be a Dwight Howard fan?
Because I like the way the man plays basketball.
You're contradicting yourself.
No, I'm not.
If you say you agree
I don't
with
like
me,
his dirty tactics.
well then you can't like him as a player
Sure
and the
you
way
can.
he plays.
He's a 3-time Defensive Player of the Year.
Okay, you're contradicting yourself.
Dennis Rodman, Yvonne!
Oh, I did not like Dennis Rodman at all.
Yet he averaged the most rebounds per game in the history of basketball.
Dirty player.
But does it overlook his accomplishments?
Yeah.
No, it doesn't.
In my mind, it does.
3 rings. You can't overlook that. You can't
If
overlook
you
that.
got to get him by doing dirty tactics.
He didn't have to do it like that. He had Michael Jordan on his team.
Exactly. So why resort to such grammar school tactics?
Because that's Dennis Rodman.
That doesn't make it right.
I didn't say it did, but that's Dennis Rodman.
You're contradicting yourself.
I'm not contradicting myself.
On one hand, you say you're a Dwight Howard fan.
I am.
Okay. Then in the next quote, you say, but you don't like his dirty tactics on the court. Then how can you like his playing on the court?
Because
if
he
you
does
don't
more
like
than
his
dirty tactics.
Why should he have to resort to?
I'm not
If
saying he
is
should.
a good player, and he is a good player. He is. He does have the skill. Why does he have to resort to dirty tactics?
I can't answer that. Ask Dwight Howard.
That's why I don't like him.
Okay? But I can be a Dwight Howard fan and still not like the elbows. For the simple fact that he does more than throw elbows. If that's all he did, then I'd have no reason to like it.
But he's being painted with that brush. That doesn't bother you?
No. He's being painted with a completely different brush. See, you're overlooking his accomplishments. Because of the elbows. There you go again. See, there we go again. You're overlooking the accomplishments. Okay? The guy's a 3-time Defensive Player of the Year.
Accomplishments mean nothing if you have to resort to dirty tactics to get it done. That would be like saying, oh my God, look at that mansion on the hill over there. Isn't it beautiful? Yeah, I wish I had it. Oh, do you realize that they got the money to pay for that mansion by selling drugs? The ends does not justify the means.
I'm not saying the elbows are justified. I'm not
Why
saying
can't
that.
he just play regular straight basketball and show everybody what he actually can
He
do
can.
without?
If he couldn't, he wouldn't be a 3-time Defensive Player of the Year. He wouldn't have led the league in blocks 4 times. He wouldn't have led the league in rebounds 5 times.
No, he's a hell of a rebounder. I'll give him that. I'll give him that. I just don't understand that part of his personality that makes him feel like he has to do that grammar school throwing of the elbows
and I'm going to go back to the comparison that I always make when we talk about Dwight Howard, and that is of Kevin Garnett.
I don't like it when KG does it either.
Are you overlooking his 2008 ring with Boston and that team that we love so much? Is that to be overlooked?
It doesn't excuse
Answer the question.
No, they deserve that.
So why doesn't Dwight Howard deserve the accomplishments he's gotten? If Kevin Garnett deserves that ring and should be recognized for having that ring with, in my opinion, the best team to ever exist, the 2008 Boston Celtics, if that should not be overlooked because of the elbows that Garnett throws and the tactics that he uses, why does Dwight Howard's have to be overlooked? Because they do the same thing. See the point I'm trying to make?
I see your point. I'm saying I don't care who it is, even if it was Michael Jordan on the court, even if it was Shaquille O'Neal, even if we go as far back as Jerry West, it's inexcusable.
I'm not disagreeing with you. I am saying,
why should you have to resort to such tactics to be able to win a game?
Ask him.
Especially if your playing skill is there.
Ask him. I can't answer that. I'm simply saying that the accomplishments of this guy, if we're not overlooking Kevin Garnett's accomplishments, we should not be overlooking Dwight Howard's accomplishments because they play the exact same way. Exact same way.
So what is your point that there was a specific point being made because he did it to Kobe?
Because he played for the Lakers. And there was a controversy there that Dwight wanted to be the star. But he couldn't because Kobe was there. Oh yeah? I'll show you who the star is. That's the underlying meaning. Revenge. And Kobe wasn't having any of it. Because he's Kobe Bryant. You do not do that to Kobe Bryant.
You would think that he would know better.
That's the best damn player to ever live. Okay?
You
You
would
don't
think
do that
he
to
would know
Kobe. Have
better.
some respect. Have some respect.
He doesn't.
Have some freaking respect.
How can you say you're a Dwight Howard fan if you say that he's so disrespectful?
Disrespectful to Kobe Bryant. Because they're on completely different levels.
Okay, you've got a real battle going on.
No,
in
I
your
do
head
not
about
have a
Dwight
battle
Howard.
going on. I am a Kobe Bryant fan. Kobe Bryant is my favorite player to ever live. I think he is better than Michael Jordan. Okay? I've been on the record saying that. And I will stick by that till the day I die.
But yet you still are a Dwight Howard fan after what he did.
Yes. Because there's more to Dwight Howard than elbows. Just like there's more to Kevin Garnett than elbows. Just like there's more to Dennis Rodman than elbows. There's more to LeBron James than elbows because LeBron James throws elbows.
Not on a consistent basis.
He
like
does it.
Dwight Howard does.
He does it.
But we would have to go some to think about. I would say it's a close race between KG and Dwight Howard as to who's the dirtiest player on the court.
Good point. You're proving my point. Now, if you're gonna get in that race, okay?
Mm-hmm.
But you're not overlooking what Kevin Garnett has done in his career. Because he has deserved it. Because he has played up to the ability to deserve that.
The team won the ring.
Yeah.
KG didn't win that ring by himself.
I know that. I know that. But he had a very large part in it.
He did not win that ring by himself.
I didn't say he did. Did I not just say that's
He
the
was
best
one
team I have ever seen?
Okay.
Okay? I didn't say he won it by himself. But did he perform? Did he perform the way he should have to win that ring? Did he contribute the way he should have?
He contributed. Did he perform
Yes.
the way he should have? No. No. Because part of your performance is how you are on the court with respect and with...
And he didn't respect the Lakers in the 2008 finals? He did not have one technical foul called on him.
Well, that's one of the few games that he
Okay,
hasn't.
so he did. No, not games. Series. That series went to 7 games. In fact, he didn't have a technical foul on him called in the playoffs that year. Zero. None. So he lived up to what he should have done.
Fine.
If you're not overlooking that, but you know the type of player Kevin Garnett is, why does Dwight Howard's accomplishments deserve to be overlooked? They don't. Because if you're overlooking Howard's, then you have to overlook Garnett's. And then if you're overlooking
I'm
Garnett's...
never, ever going to agree that Dwight Howard's not a dirty player. I'm never going to... I don't give a damn...
I'm not saying that he's...
how many points he puts on the board, how many rebounds he gets, how many assists he gets. If he's got to go to dirty tactics to get the job done, then he does not deserve the credit and the respect from me that I think a good basketball player should get.
On a moral level.
Right.
On a moral...
I'm sorry, I'm an
personal
emotional... I'm sorry. I'm an emotional person. You tell me this all the time. I don't think we need to resort to such tactics.
I don't think we need to either. I also know that elbows don't have any part in rebounds. Or shot blocking.
Elbows should not be part of the game on the court, period.
Okay. Exactly.
Okay.
If elbows are not involved in rebounding, and elbows are not involved in shot blocking, that requires timing, that requires coordination.
I gave him credit for that.
Okay. And that's why he won Defensive Player of the Year 3 times. One of 4 guys in history to do that.
Still a dirty player.
But does he deserve the accomplishment?
He deserves recognition for the things that he does that does not involve him being a dirty player.
Thank you. I'm not disagreeing with you. He is a dirty player. I'm not disagreeing with you.
And yet, you're a Dwight Howard fan.
I am.
You would be...
Because there's more to him than elbows.
Then he should stop! If he can do it without throwing the elbows, why does he insist on doing it?
Tell that to Kevin Garnett. Uh-huh. Were you a fan of the 2008 Boston Celtics?
Are you a Peyton Manning fan?
I'm a die-hard Peyton Manning fan.
Is he your favorite quarterback?
He's the best quarterback of all time. Yes.
Are you a Drew Brees fan?
Yes.
Okay. If Drew Brees came up behind Peyton Manning and hit him in the back of his neck where he knew, I know this is an off-the-wall comparison. What would you think about Drew Brees as a quarterback?
As a quarterback?
Yeah.
Or as a person?
As a quarterback.
He's still a great quarterback.
Even if he
You're
went
proving
to
my
such...
point.
No, you're proving
No.
mine.
No. You asked what I thought of him as a quarterback on the field.
That would be dirty. That would be deliberate. That would be on purpose. That would be... It would be horrible.
Yeah.
With the possibility of injuring him all over again and ruining his...
So as a person, I would say, oh, that dude's an ass. That dude's an ass.
But it does not... Okay, so him as an individual, as a person, that does not reflect how you feel about him as a quarterback?
No.
How can you separate the two? I can't separate the
Ben
two.
Roethlisberger.
What about him?
He's a rapist, correct?
Okay, you shouldn't have said that. You can't go on the record and say that.
Okay, we all know it happened.
Okay. You can't say that.
We all know what happened. Okay? And we all know he got off scot-free.
Okay.
You know what he's done the past 2 weeks in the NFL?
I really don't care.
12 touchdown passes.
Okay.
The past 2 games.
Okay, he should not be playing.
I agree, but he is.
Oh, he should not be playing.
And he's a good quarterback.
And he should not be
I
playing.
hate him as a person, but he's a good quarterback.
Why do you want to glorify someone like that?
I'm not glorifying. I'm giving credit
By
where credit
allowing
is due.
him to play and by allowing him to make that kind of money.
That's not me allowing him to do that.
No, I'm saying the NFL. by allowing him to continue playing, by not pressing charges, by him not being in jail where he should be. They are glorifying and they are saying, oh, he made a mistake. It's okay. He's a good football player. We're going to say it's okay what he did.
That's Roger. Okay, let's stop the NFL. You want to throw comparisons? I'm going to throw one. Who is your favorite basketball player ever? Answer the question.
Chris Paul.
Okay. If Chris Paul went up to Derrick Rose, okay, and kicked his knees, he had a torn ACL. That would change your opinion on Chris Paul as a person, right?
Absolutely.
Is he still the best point guard in the league? Skill set. Point guard. It would change your opinion on him as a person. No doubt about it. If it didn't...
Yeah, and it would roll over into how I think he is as a player. Because in my mind, the two go hand in hand. Because if it's not necessary to do for you to make your points or make your play, then you shouldn't be doing. We could argue this till the cows come home. I'm sorry, I'm an emotional person, and to me, you can't separate the two.
Yeah, you can.
No, you can't.
Yes, you can.
Not if it's being done on purpose and deliberate.
You can separate the two.
I can't. Sorry. Dwight Howard has been playing like this since he took the court. Okay? 3-4 years ago, that's the only way that he knew how to play. At least he has toned it down. I am so sorry, and I'm so happy at the same time that I did not see that elbow thrown to Kobe. What ended up happening?
Well, Kobe got in his face, and they just broke it up. The refs broke it up. The players got in between and everything. And
Anybody get a technical?
no.
Why?
Because they didn't call it technical. I don't know. They didn't call it technical.
Was it deserved?
Was a technical foul deserved?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, probably so.
Wow. I don't understand how you can, we're just not the same. I don't understand how you can still say he's one of the best players and you're a Dwight Howard fan when you love Kobe so much and he did that intentionally on purpose and according to you as a revenge tactic, and yet you still consider him a wonderful player.
I don't consider him a wonderful player. I like his skill set. I like what he brings on a basketball level to the floor.
Dirty tactics.
No, there's more to him than that. And the stats prove it.
Okay. This is one of those that we are definitely going to have to agree to disagree.
I mean, the stats prove it. There's proof.
Okay. I don't like him.
You don't have to like him.
I don't like his personality. I don't
like his personality
I
either.
don't like the way he plays.
I don't like his personality either.
I don't like his dirty tactics.
I don't either.
I don't.
But there's more to him than dirty tactics.
Okay. I don't think it makes up for the dirty tactics.
I just don't understand the whole Chris Paul thing. He's still gonna, whether he purposefully injures Derrick Rose or not, he's still gonna average 12 assists per game. He's still gonna average a double-double.
Which is why he does not do those kind of things, because he has more character and he's
Right.
a better person.
Right.
And he has more respect, not only for the game of basketball, but for the players on the court, which makes him my favorite player, which means Chris Paul would never dream of doing
Okay,
something
but
like
if he
that.
did do that,
I can't do that hypothetical because I know Chris would never
you
do
just
that.
did a hypothetical with Drew Brees and Peyton Manning with me. See, I know Drew Brees would never do that. I still answered your question.
Okay.
Drew Brees would still be a fantastic quarterback. I wouldn't like him as a person, but I'd still respect his quarterbacking ability.
To me, if you respect something someone does, you have to respect the person. I'm
I
sorry.
respect stats.
They go hand in hand to me.
I respect stats.
To me, it's an all-inclusive thing.
I don't respect O.J. Simpson with an ounce of me as a person. With an ounce of me. He got away with murder. He's in jail now, but not for murder. He got away with murder. He did. It was obvious. They proved it!
I know.
They proved it beyond a reasonable doubt. And the jury still found him not guilty because it was O.J. Simpson.
Right.
Okay? Everybody saw the trial. Everybody saw the Bronco down the highway in Denver. Everybody saw it. Okay? He is still a top 10 running back of all time according to the stats. I don't like him, but the stats are there. The stats are there. He's in the Pro Football Hall of Fame, though he probably shouldn't be. He's in the Pro Football Hall of Fame. The stats are there. He's a top 10 running back ever. Ever.
Okay? It's not that cut and dry for me. We're just different.
Rajon Rondo was not expected to be in the Boston Celtics lineup in their season opener at home against the Brooklyn Nets because of the hand. He was, and he had a double-double, and Boston beat Brooklyn by a score of 121 to 105. Your thoughts on the outcome of that game? Not on Rondo in the hand, the outcome of the game. The fact that Boston beat Brooklyn handedly.
Oh, I thought Boston could beat Brooklyn as long as Rondo was playing.
By 16.
Well, no, maybe not that much of a point spread, but I know, I'm almost positive that if Rondo had not been playing, Boston would not have won that game. Okay. But how can you talk about the winning of the game by that much of a point spread and not talk about Rondo?
Just the outcome of the game.
The outcome of the game does not surprise me at all because Rondo was playing.
Now, can Rondo keep it up?
I hope so.
Because he's in now. The hand's fine.
No, the hand's not
The hand
fine.
is fine.
He's playing like it's fine.
The hand seems to be fine.
He's tough. He's a tough little guy. He is tough.
Can Rondo keep this up?
Yeah, as long as he doesn't injure that hand again.
Yeah, he can keep it up. You know why? And you're going to hate me for saying this. And you're going to disagree with me.
Okay.
He's the best point guard in the game of basketball.
No, he's not.
Yes, he is.
No, he's not.
Yes, he is.
Are you kidding?
No.
He's great, but he's not the best.
Point guard. Point guard in the game of basketball. And he's proven it. Time and time and time again. It's another thing that the stats prove. That's not my opinion. That's a fact. That is a statistical
How old is he?
fact. 26, 27.
How long's he been playing?
Since 08, 6 years, 7 years.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Can you really say time after time after time when you're talking about people like Steve Nash and Chris Paul and whatever? Wait till he gets to their age, and then let's talk about.
First of all, Chris Paul is only 2 years older than him. Okay, first of all. Chris Paul only came into the league 2 years before Rondo did. Okay, so I can throw that comparison right out of the window.
Okay, and you really, if you look at the stats, Rondo's better in overall stats than Chris Paul is.
He averages more. What's the point guard's job? You always ask me this question. What is the job of the point guard on the floor?
I don't know where you're going with this.
Just answer the question. Every time we talk about who's the best point guard in the game, we ask this question. What's the job of the point guard on the floor?
He's got a lot of jobs, but the main one is to put points on the board.
No. That's a shooting guard's job.
Okay. To be a in the right place at the right time to set it up for the right person to
To
put.
set up the
Right.
plays. In other words, assists.
Right.
Over the past 5 years, Rajon Rondo has led the league in assists 4 times. 4 times! Chris Paul's done it once. Okay? And over the past 5 years, 4 out of those 5 years, Chris Paul averages more turnovers a game than Rajon Rondo. And the thing about that is, Rondo has the ball in his hands more than Chris Paul does on a game-to-game basis.
Well, we can't count last year for Rondo.
No, I'm not.
Okay.
Okay? He has the ball in his hands more than Chris Paul does during the game. Which, how does that even happen? He's the best point guard in the game. Yes, he is.
No.
Yes, he is. Yes, he is.
Okay. That's your opinion.
That's a fact.
No.
Over the past 5 years, Rajon Rondo has statistically been the best point guard in basketball. Oh, and he shoots at a higher percentage than Chris Paul does. That too.
I'm going to use your quote from earlier.
Sure.
There's more to the game than just doing one thing.
Rondo does more than one thing.
Okay. Overall,
Rondo
if you
does.
look at everything as a total all-around player, you telling me you think Rondo's better than Chris Paul?
I don't think. I know. Who's the better defender? Who's the better defender? Who averages more steals? Who averages more steals? Rondo. Who averages more assists? Rondo. Who gets a block and a half per game? At the point guard position. Rondo. Who shoots at a better percentage? Rondo. Who averages more turnovers? Chris Paul. And who has the ball in their hands more on a game-to-game basis? Rondo.
Who plays more minutes on the floor?
Rondo.
Over Chris Paul?
Yes.
On a game-to-game basis?
Yes. In the past 5 years, Rajon Rondo has averaged 38.6 minutes per game. Chris Paul has averaged 37.2 minutes per game. Even in minutes. Okay, you can look at minutes. Who has the ball in their hands more during those minutes? Rondo. Because Rajon Rondo doesn't have a Blake Griffin to throw the ball to. He doesn't have a shooter like J.J. Redick. He doesn't have that. Yet he still averages more assists and plays better defense.
Okay?
Yes, Rajon Rondo can keep this up because that is the type of player that he is. He gets double-doubles. He gets triple-doubles. That's what he does. Yes, he can keep this up because he's that good. Now, that being said, he can't do it all by himself. He needs teammates. He needs guys to continue, and Boston has done a good job so far of guys stepping up. Kelly Olynyk stepped up one game. Jeff Green stepped up another game. That's what they need to be successful in this Eastern Conference, especially in this division that they play in the Atlantic, with teams like Toronto and the Knicks Knicks and all these guys, and they look good. Both Toronto and the Knicks look very good this season. So Boston's got to play keep up, okay? Rondo's not going to give you 30, 35 points a game. He's going to give you a little bit of everything. Guys need to step up and score. They need to do a better job inside of defending because Olynyk, he's not there yet. He's still young. He's not there yet. They need to send more help. Favarani's been good. They need to keep the wheels turning. Brad Stevens is doing a good job this season. They lost a close one to Dallas last night when they looked very good. Yeah, Rondo can keep this up. And any other thoughts on Boston as a team? That's my thoughts on them. They're a very good team. They're very underrated. I think they're going to do well.
We need to just pray that he doesn't hurt his hand again.
I think they're going to do well. I mean, I don't think they're going to win the Atlantic Division because I think Toronto and the Knicks are going to be butting heads for that division. But they're not to be overlooked. They're not to be sneezed at. They're a good team. Anytime you've got a team with an elite point guard like Rajon Rondo on the floor, you got a chance to win. There are very few point guards that I would say that about. Anytime you've got Rajon Rondo in the game, anytime you've got Chris Paul in the game, anytime you've got Tony Parker or Steve Nash in the game, you've got a chance to win the game because that's the way they play ball.
You left one out. Russell Westbrook.
Okay, I'll throw him in there. Okay.
Can you believe I said that?
Okay. I could even say Derrick Rose. When you got Derrick Rose
Yeah.
in, you got a chance to win the game.
Well, he didn't come to mind because he's been gone for so long.
Well, I mean, there are very few that I would say that about. But, no. But Boston looks good. They have a tough division. They've got a tough schedule coming up. They just need to keep the wheels turning. They need to keep the wheels turning. The Miami Heat beat the Washington Wizards to begin the post-LeBron era. They are now, the only undefeated team in the Eastern Conference at 3-0. Your thoughts? And are the Heat really this good? Why or why not?
Who have they played?
Washington in the opener. I know they beat Washington in the opener. And then... Okay, Miami of Washington. They beat them by 12. They won in Philadelphia, and they beat Toronto at home. They're 3-0.
They beat Toronto
At home.
at home.
By 5.
Only by 5.
Your thoughts, and are they really this good? Why or why not?
I was not going to say that they were this good until you said they beat Toronto at home. That was an accomplishment because Toronto's looking really good. Okay. Beating Washington, beating Philadelphia is nothing to sneeze at. But it's not on the level of beating Toronto or the Spurs. Or you follow what I'm saying?
Right.
The minute that they beat what I call a top team.
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, Toronto's easily a top 17 in the league.
Absolutely. Absolutely. The minute they beat Toronto, that changed. That changed everything.
Right. I agree.
Because, I don't know.
You beat a top tier team.
Yeah.
And again, I like what you said about how I like the fact that you pointed out that Washington's nothing to sneeze at. I like that.
No,
because
Washington is nothing to sneeze at. But beating Washington and beating Philadelphia is definitely not the same thing as like beating a Boston or beating a Toronto or beating the Spurs. Then we're talking about a whole different animal.
Oh, yeah. Well, the thing about Washington is they have Paul Pierce now,
What
and
did you plug in?
an extension cord because I'm going to plug the iPad in while we're talking.
Oh, because there's a plug on that outlet right there.
But that's my phone.
Oh,
But the thing about Washington is they've got Pierce. So, I mean, any team with Paul Pierce on it brings a new aspect,
yeah.
okay? Because he is sensational. He's clutch. He's a good scorer. And by God, he's ageless, okay?
Right.
So, the fact that they beat Washington by 12 in the opener, now, mind you, that is without Bradley Beal. Keep that in mind. So, they are a bit short-handed. But Miami looks good,
Yeah.
okay? And
Yeah.
the thing that looks the best about Miami
Is that they're doing it without LeBron.
is Chris Bosh.
And they're doing it without LeBron.
Chris Bosh, where has this been?
I agree. I noticed that.
Oh, and the X Factor. The X Factor, what I'm about to say about Miami. The X Factor.
I don't know.
Dwayne
Oh, well, of course.
Wade
Of course.
looks sensational.
And the irony of the whole thing is that they're doing it without LeBron.
I love it.
Oh, I think
love it.
that's wonderful.
I love it. Next topic.
Pause it.